First, you're to rescue DARPA Chief Donald Anderson and the President of Armstech, Kenneth Baker. Both are being held as hostages. Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to make a nuclear strike, and stop them if they do.
What's the insertion method?
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim. High-Tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mattis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter. And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound's squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake?
The man with the same codename as you. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes. This is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support. The nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island in Alaska's Fox Archipelago was attacked and captured by next-generation special forces, being led by members of Foxhound. They're demanding that the government turn over the remains of Big Boss, and they say that if their demands are not met within 24 hours, they'll launch a nuclear weapon. You'll have 2 mission objectives. First, you're to rescue DARPA Chief Donald Anderson and the President of Armstech, Kenneth Baker. Both are being held as hostages. Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to make a nuclear strike, and stop them if they do.
What's the insertion method?
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim. High-tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mattis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter. And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound's squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake?
The man with the same codename as you. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes, this is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support. Nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island in Alaska's Fox Archipelago was attacked and captured by next-generation special forces, being led by members of Foxhound. They're demanding that the government turn over the remains of Big Boss, and they say that if their demands are not met within 24 hours, they'll launch a nuclear weapon. You'll have 2 mission objectives. First, you're to rescue DARPA Chief Donald Anderson and the President of Armstech, Kenneth Baker. Both are being held as hostages. Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to make a nuclear strike and stop them if they do.
What's the insertion method?
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim. High-tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mattis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, Giant and Shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter. And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake?
The man with the same codename as you. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes, this is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
Boa tarde, senhoras e senhores, ligados nos canais em capa 10. Sejam bem-vindos no YouTube, no Facebook e no Twitch. Estamos ao vivo e hoje vamos finalizar esse jogaço, esse grande jogo aí da Konami. Acho que é um dos primeiros grandes sucessos da Konami aí. Metal Gear Solid na sua tela. Vamos lá, sem mais delongas. Estamos ao vivo no YouTube, Facebook e no Twitch Capa 10. Daqui a pouco eu ligo a minha facecam aí pra galera que tá acostumada com o meu rostinho feio. E vamos lá. Rodrigo Christian da Silva, seja bem-vindo, obrigado a sua presença aí. Eu vou ter que fazer aquela parte lá de novo. Galera aí que quiser acompanhar, deixa eu ligar a face aqui. Aê, pronto, tamo aí. Galera que quiser acompanhar os outros episódios, tá lá na playlist do canal nosso do YouTube. É só chegar lá e acompanhar todos os outros 11 episódios que a gente fez até aqui. Eu acho que aqui é missão de farmácia, não vai dar. Tem um soldado aqui, mas não precisa eu matá-lo. Eu já equipar aqui o cartão. Essa parte aqui a gente já fez ontem, tá, pessoal? Então eu vou pular pra gente ir rápido. Ué, já chamei o bagulho? Já chamou? Então pega aí. Então já passamos. Tem que chamar o Otacon. Ué, mano. Eu acho que eu fiz bobagem, mano. O cartão tá aqui, ó. Ah, eu tinha que tacar a Shift Granate. Vacilei. Jogou muito, né, Rodrigo? Pô, esse jogo é muito louco, mano. Eu vou ter que morrer, não tem jeito. tacar X de granada. Pensei que não precisava, mano. Não tem problema, a gente continua. Não tem problema, a gente continua.
Snake! What happened? Snake!
Ter
Snake!
tacado a... Ah, cadê ela? Eu não queria usar ela, mano. Nem como. Aí, agora sim. Eu vou pular toda essa conversa aqui, que é a revelação que o carinha lá é o Liquid Snake, né? A gente já viu isso na live de ontem. Tá aí, ativado. A gente acabou ativando a detonação do Metal Gear. Não, mas aí eu não consigo acessar lá. Eu não consigo, mas já foi, né? Olha lá. Vai parar toda essa conversa. Ele tá agradecendo ao Snake porque ele manipulou todo o jogo até agora. Porque eles não tinham como conseguir o cartão aqui para acessar o Metal Gear. E ele acaba se revelando. Meu brother aqui, ó. Olha lá. Vai tirar o óculos, tudo. E revela um Liquid Snake. E ele fala que tá próximo. Agora sim, ó. Agora fecha aqui. Agora a gente vai chamar o Otacon. E aí dá certo.
Snake, that's bulletproof glass. You can't break
Galera,
it with an
compartilha
ordinary
aí pra dar
weapon.
aquela força.
Can't you open
Chegamos
the
a
security lock
2.600
I'll
seguidores
try. Just
no
hold on for a
Facebook.
minute.
Valeu, passamos de 1.250 inscritos no YouTube. Chamei aqui errado. É, a gente vai ter que esperar até o Otacon esperar até o Otacon liberar as portas. Aê. Agora sim.
I hacked into security.
Segue a gente
Snake,
no Twitch,
I'm
só
opening
3
the
seguidores
door.
lá no Twitch pra chegar a 100, hein? Valeu. Passa ali o Liquid. Vamos lá, agora vamos deixar rolar a cutscene que vai ter história pra gente escutar. Ó, ele tá ali, ó. Só esperando a gente. E aí vai rolar toda a história.
Snake! Did you like my
Pô, ruim o gráfico
sunglasses?
agora, né? O Liquid vai
You
falar que
point a
são
weapon at
irmãos
your own
gêmeos,
brother?
mas
Why
que
did you
o
disguise yourself as master?
Snake
So I
ele
could
foi
manipulate you
feito
more
pra
easily.
ser
And you
a
performed
melhor
quite well, I
parte
must
e ele
say.
foi criado como o resto do
Although the
Snake,
boys at the
por isso a
Pentagon are
revolta
probably
dele,
saying the
o
same thing.
abandono
What the hell are
aí
you talking
do
about?
Liquid.
Following orders blindly with no
E ele quer
questions asked,
vingança.
you've lost your warrior's pride and become nothing more than a pawn, Snake.
What?
Stopping the nuclear launch, rescuing the hostages, it was all just a diversion.
A diversion?
The Pentagon only needed for you to come into contact with us. That's what
E é
killed
uma
the Arms
conversa
Tech
bem
President and
demorada
decoy
pra falar
Octopus.
basicamente isso.
You don't mean...
Grande
That's
Guarjão!
You were sent here to kill us
É,
so they
pois
could
é,
retrieve
esqueci da
Metal
câmera,
Gear
mas
undamaged,
eu já
along with the
tinha
bodies
passado
of the
por ali
genome
sem ativar ele,
soldiers.
sem usar
From
o
the beginning, the
X de
Pentagon was
granada.
just using you as a
Guardião.
vector to spread fox dye.
Fox die? It can't be. Are you telling me Naomi was working with the
A
Pentagon?
live aqui vai ser demorada,
They
hein? Vai
thought she
demorar. Vamos
was,
ter
but it seems that
mais
Dr.
de uma
Naomi
hora de
Hunter
live
couldn't be
hoje.
controlled so easily.
What?
We've got a
Compartilha
spy
aí pra
working in
galera
the
vir
Pentagon.
bombar junto com a gente.
He reported that Dr.
Ainda
Hunter
hoje,
altered
Good of
Fox
War,
Dye's
parte
program
8.
just before the operation.
E
But
Dead
no one
Space
knows
3 na
how.
gameplay do terror. Muito sofremos, hein, no Dead Space. Hein?
I wonder. Maybe they arrested her so they could find out the answer to that.
No
Vamos ter
doubt. But I had
4
no
batalhas
idea
contra
she
o
was
Liquid,
motivated
se
by
eu não
such
tiver enganado.
petty revenge. We still don't know what changes she made to Fox Dye's program. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I've already
Liquid
added
é
the Fox
igual
Dye vaccine
White
to my list of
Mamba
White House
do Metal
demands.
Gear,
There's a vaccine.
Solid de
There
5.
must be, but that woman is the only one who really
Pô, Metal
knows.
Gear 5 eu não curti, cara.
Anyway,
Joguei,
it might
joguei,
prove to
nem
be
terminei o jogo.
unnecessary.
Ela está dando a cavalo do
You
lado
were
do outro.
successful in coming into
Na
contact with
general,
all of
acho
us,
que é o
so
pior
we
dos
must have all been exposed to the
Metal Gear.
virus. It's true that the
Disparado.
Aztec president and decoy octopus were killed by Foxdie, but Ocelot, myself, and you, the carrier, were
Aí ele tá
apparently
explicando tudo isso que eu
unaffected.
falei resumidamente.
virus's programming.
Could be. In
Galera,
any
não esquece
case,
de
if it
curtir,
doesn't kill
seguir a nossa
you,
página do
then I'm not
Facebook,
worried
que é
either.
importante, ajuda
After
demais.
all, our
Pô,
genetic
se
code
puder ir lá
is
no YouTube,
identical.
Ricapa 10
true.
no YouTube,
You
também
and I
estamos ao
are-
vivo por lá.
Yes,
Se inscrever no
twins.
canal, estamos aí na
But we're
batalha
not
de
ordinary
crescer o canal
twins.
lá e
We're twins
começar a
linked by
monetizá-lo.
cursed genes. Les enfants terribles.
Trabalhando que nem louco,
You're
tô acordando
fine.
meio-dia
You
e
got
indo
all
até
the old man's
2, 3 da
dominant
manhã
genes. I got the flawed recessive
com
gene.
lives e
Everything was
transmissões
done
aí.
so that you would be the greatest of his children. The only reason I exist is so they could create you.
Minhas
I was
costas
the
começou
favorite,
a
huh?
coçar.
That's right. I'm just the leftovers of what they used to make you. Can you understand what it's like to know that you're garbage since the day you were born? But
Amanhã vamos jogar
I'm
Moonwalker, hein?
Father Chose.
Vou jogar
So
Moonwalker
that's
amanhã
why
na
you're so
Game
obsessed with Big
na
Boss.
sessão
Some
clássicos do
warped
canal.
kind
Vou
of
trazer o
love.
Moonwalker do
Love?
Michael Jackson do arcade, que era
It's
muito
hate.
da hora e
He
foi
always
lançado pra
told me
Mega
I was
Drive.
inferior, and now I'll have my
Depois de
revenge.
Moonwalker,
You should
provavelmente a gente
understand
venha
me,
com
brother.
Tomb Raider
You
o
killed
primeiro.
our father with your own hands. You stole my
Live na
chance
hora
for
do Dia of War,
revenge.
estamos aqui na... Vamos fazer a
Now
oitava
I'll
parte.
finish the work that
Ainda
father
vai demorar
began.
até a gente
I will
terminar o
surpass him.
Dia of War,
I will
então.
destroy him.
Mesma coisa com
You're
Dead
just
Space,
like
que onde a gente
Naomi.
fez somente
Well,
a
I'm not
parte
like
2,
you.
mas ainda tem muita
Unlike
live
you,
ainda de Dead
I'm
Space.
proud of the destiny that is encoded into my very genes. Yeah.
Vamos lá, o bicho vai pegar agora, hein?
Snake, your blood will be the first to be spilled by this glorious new weapon. Consider it an honor, a gift from your
Dizendo aí
mother.
que nós vamos
Now I'll show
ser
you
privilegiados de
the power of the weapon that will lead us in the 21st century.
pelo Metal Gear.
It's moving. How do I stop it?
Grandão, hein? Cara, eu não sei se eu já uso a Shift Grenade logo de cara, mas eu acho que não vou fazer isso. Eu acho que eu vou na raça aqui. Vou usar a Shift de cara. Vou deixar pra segunda parte da batalha. Vocês vão entender o porquê. Vou tentar, né? Desculpa, gente. Vou dar uma adaga ali, ó. Meu Deus. Eu acho que não vai dar não, mano. Não vai dar não, velho. Não vai dar não, eu vou ter que usar, mano. Ah, eu não queria usar, mas eu vou ter que usar. Fecha aí, filhão. E a chefe? Vou ter que ficar nessa. Ah, meu Deus. Droga! O achismo de granada podia estar... Merda, velho. Putz, como eu tô mal, velho. Bosta, velho. Velho, tô muito ruim, velho. Muito mal. Muito mal, minha... Peraí que eu acho que eu tô dando um jeito. Acho que o negócio é... Ai, vacilão. Vou ter que ir perto, mas não tão perto, mano. Nossa, que horrível, velho. Levanta, Lê. Não! Ah, horrível, velho. Horrível, mano. Horrível, mano. Horrível. Horrível minha jogabilidade, meu enfrentamento aqui, cara. Ah, capa, você tem que ser rápido, velho. Já era. Porra, mas eu fui muito mal, velho. Foi muito mal. Agora vai ter mais uma ceninha bacana.
Did that do it?
Jonathan, boa tarde, Jonathan. E aí, Alisson, salve. Obrigado, Alisson, por compartilhar o canal, velho. Valeu. Fez a grande corrida do Alisson lá na categoria Esquadrão.
It sounds better than Deep Throat.
So it is you.
É,
Terrible Snake.
muito mal,
You
Gordon.
haven't aged well.
Muito mal.
I'll send you back to hell!
Aí o ninja. Grey Fox. Ah, o Grey Fox, ele matou os pais da Naomi. A Naomi era a identidade dela. O Grey Fox matou os pais dela e depois,
Fox,
arrependido,
why? What do you want from
ele vai
me?
dizer que arrependido pegou ela para criar como uma irmã.
Only you can free me.
Rafa Tondato, boa tarde,
Fox,
Rafa,
stay
seja
out of this.
bem-vindo.
What about Naomi? She's hell-bent on taking revenge for you.
Naomi.
You're the only one who can stop her.
No, I can't.
Why?
Because I'm the one who killed her parents. I was young then, and couldn't bring myself to kill her too. I felt so bad that I decided
Galera,
to
não
take
esquece
it
de
with
deixar o
me.
like aí
I
no
raised
YouTube,
her
de
like
deixar seu
she was
curtir no
my own
Facebook.
blood, to soothe my guilty conscience. Even now, she
Bora lá,
thinks of
deixar a
me as her
curtidinha aí
brother.
pra dar aquela
From the
fortalecida.
outside, we might have seemed like a happy brother
Hoje
and
às
sister,
20h30
but
estaremos
every time I
ao
looked
vivo
at her,
lá pela
I saw
Paddock
her
World
parents'
Series,
eyes staring
categoria
back at me.
Elite.
Tell
Estamos
her
chegando ao
for me.
final, hein?
Tell her that I
É
was
hoje
the
mais
one who
2
did it.
semanas só.
There you are!
We're just about out of time. Here's a final present from Deep Throat. I'll stop it from moving.
Fox!
O braço do cara, velho.
In the Middle East, we don't hunt foxes,
Oi,
we
eu
hunt
por-
jackals.
Oi, Fox.
Instead of foxhounds, we use
Oi, eu
Royal Harriers.
Fox!
How strong is that exoskeleton of yours? Snake, are you just going to sit by and watch him die?
Cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal.
You destroyed the radome.
Impressive! You are indeed worthy of the codename
Mais
Fox.
conversa.
But now you're finished!
No! Fire the stinger!
Fox! Can you really shoot? You'll kill him too!
Now
O Fox vai pedir pra gente usar aqui a stinger.
I can finally die. After Zanzibar.
Ah, vai não vai, ó.
I can't do it.
From the battle.
No, I can't do
Neither
it.
truly alive, nor truly dead.
It's no good.
An
I can't do it.
undying shadow in a world of light.
No, I can't
But
do it.
soon it will
It's no good. I can't do it.
Vai chegar no aqui. Não vai. Vai.
Snake. We're not tools of the government or anyone else.
Só foi a primeira batalha contra o Lick, hein? Agora nós vamos para a segunda batalha contra ele.
Thing I was good at. But at least I always fought for what I believed in. Snake. Farewell.
Esmagou o ninja.
Foolish man!
Vamos lá.
He prayed for and it found him. You see, you can't protect anyone, not even yourself. Die!
Continuar na mesma pegada. Da mãe, acabou com as minhas... Ah, não! Eu vou ter que arrumar um jeito, porque eu tenho muito pouco cheiro de granada, velho. Tem muito pouco cheiro de granada. Não! Eu não acredito, velho. Tudo desde lá do... Ah, não, velho. Ah, não, mano. Não, Leite. Ah, não, mano. Tudo de novo, velho. Aí morreu. Ah, não, velho. Gente do céu, hoje vai ser triste. Hoje nós não terminamos essa live não, mano. Como que ele me acertou se eu anulei o radar dele, velho? Demora pra explodir essa merda, velho. Acertar, filha da mãe. Já era, vamos lá.
Now,
É.
in front of you, I can finally die.
É a terceira batalha.
Can't do it. It's no good.
Afonso
Can't
tira
do
caminho.
it.
Puta mano.
Neither truly alive
Can't do it.
nor truly dead. An undying shadow
Can't do it.
in a
It's no
world
good.
of
I
light.
can't do it.
But soon, it will
Vai atacar o
finally
né, mano?
end.
Vamos lá. Ah, como que ele me acertou aqui, velho? Ferrou, mano. Que Hatchon, velho. Ah, fala sério, mano. Não dá pra escapar, velho. Porra. Não é possível, mano. Tempo atrás eu tava vendo a live, o cara passou tão fácil, mano. Da mãe, velho. Dá, velho, pá. O problema é a cheia de granada, velho. Viado, velho. Dá tempo nem de respirar, mano. Vou morrer aqui mesmo, porque... velho. Eu acho que não vai ser hoje o final de Metal Gear não, hein? Porra! estamos sofrendo pra cacete, velho. Bem agora. Agora não fomos tão bem. Bem, nós sofremos um dano até agora. Da verdade isso aqui, cara. Caramba, velho. É que eu tô tentando fazer, mas tá difícil, mano. Tem uma ração ali pra me pegar, velho. Vamos lá, vamos pular.
Now,
It's no good.
in
I
front
can't
of
do
you,
it.
I
Pô, mano,
can
tá
finally
chato demais, velho.
Can't do it.
After Zanzibar, I was taken from the battle,
Vou tentar salvar o jogo nesse
neither
ponto.
truly
E aí,
alive
Gabriel?
nor truly dead.
Metal Gear Solid, PlayStation 1, velho.
In a world of light, but soon, it
Ai, ai,
Can't do it. It's no good. I can't do it.
Ah, como isso, mano? Já era, mano. Que ódio! Cacete, mano. É muita sacanagem, velho. Porra, não tem opção. E aí ainda tem que enfrentar esse miserável tudo de novo, mano. Mano, não é possível que não tava o hate, eu não tava carregado. O hate não tava carregado. Ah, pai! Jesus amado! Tá agora. Ah, sacanagem, mudou, mano. Ah, já comecei mal aqui, né? Puta que eu pariu, viu, mano? Não passar nunca, velho. Tá louco. Mudar minha estratégia. Pra ver se dá certo. Como que ele me viu aqui, velho? Alô? Ele me viu aqui, velho. Cara, eu não... Será possível que eu tô tão velho? Será possível que eu tô tão velho, mano, que foi tão fácil quando eu era garoto? Ah, não. É, vamos ficar sem salvar o Metal Gear, hein, velho. Eu sempre entendi, ele agacha na hora de soltar os bichos. Ah, tava longe, velho. Erra! Ah, agora eu peguei um esquema aí. Ai, acho que foi eu ter vindo pra cá. Ai, aí foi eu, mano. Não, mas na próxima eu vou... Eu vou até deixar ele me matar, porque agora eu peguei o experimento. Agora eu peguei o jeito. Quando ele agachar, eu vou pra cima. Quando ele agachar, eu vou pra cima. Agora eu peguei o jeito. Equipar o réstil. Tava longe pra caraca, né, mano? Ah, acorda, porra! Merda. Isso me acertou, velho. Puta que eu pariu, eu tô vacilando. Mano, não acredito que na hora que eu peguei a porra do esquema... Ah, gente, eu vou desistir, mano. Ah, não acerta a porra do... Tem que ser a Stinger, velho. Não tem jeito, mano. Alô. Por isso que... Ah, vai. Vamos lá.
Snake! Snake!
Ah, é de filha da mãe, velho. Calma aí. Boa. Legal. Ai, sai daí, porra! Caraca, sai, velho! Não é possível! Não acertou, mano. Bom, agora é a hora, né? Agora é a hora da gente passar, mano, porque a gente tá com a vida cheia. A gente tá com a vida, quer dizer, temos vida aí e temos cheio de granada. Ai, eu tô até nervoso, velho. Tô até nervoso pra gente conseguir passar da segunda batalha, velho. Não! Porque agora ele não agacha. Ah, não, fala sério, mano. Cada míssil dele. Não, velho. Não! Ah, que é isso, mano? Desculpa. Tá não, sinto muito, mas tá louco. É sacanagem isso aí, velho. Muita sacanagem. Eu vou tentar mais uma vez, só por teimosia mesmo. Só por teimosia, velho. Uma tentativa, porque... Ah, tomar no banho, já começou bem, né? Ah, eu tô perto lá, velho. Caraca. Rápido agora.
Now, in front of you, I can finally die.
Sabe o que eu falei que eu ia desistir, velho?
I was taken from the battle, neither truly alive nor truly dead. An undying shadow in a world of light. But soon it will finally end.
Ai, ai, que desespero, mano. Dá tempo, né, Sai daí. Vai. Só porque eu ia desistir.
Snake! I'll crush you into dust!
Só porque eu ia desistir. Sacanagem, hein, mano? Sacanagem, né? Destruído do Metal Gear. Pegasse um like, hein? Pegasse uma inscrição no canal, hein? Ia desistir. Era a última, só por descargo de consciência. Enquanto rola a cutscene aí que vai rolar, deixa eu ir no banheiro, porque deu vontade até de ir no banheiro, gente. Oh, meu Deus. Pega aí.
Sleeping late as usual, a snake.
Liquid, you're still alive.
I won't die as long as you still live.
Too bad. It looks like your revolution was a failure.
Just because you've destroyed Metal Gear doesn't mean I am done fighting.
Fighting? What are you really after?
A world where warriors like us are honored as we once were, as we should be.
That was Big Boss's fantasy.
It was his dying wish. When he was young, during the Cold War, the world needed men like us. We were valued then. We were desired. But things, are different now. With all the liars and hypocrites running the world, war isn't what it used to be. We're losing our place in a world that no longer needs us. A world that now spurns our very existence. You should know that as well as I do. After I launch this weapon and get $1 billion, we'll be able to bring chaos and honor back to this world gone soft. Conflict will breed conflict. New hatreds will arise. Then we'll steadily expand our sphere of influence.
But as long as there are people, there will always be war.
But the problem is balance. Father knew what type of a balance was best.
Is that the only reason?
Isn't it reason enough for warriors such as us?
I don't want that kind of world.
Ha! You lie! So why are you here then? Why do you continue to follow your orders while your superiors betray you? Why did you come here? Well, I'll tell you then. You enjoy all the killing. That's why.
What?
Are you denying it? Haven't you already killed most of my comrades?
That was...
I watched your face when you did it. It was filled with the joy of battle.
You're wrong.
There's a killer inside you. You don't have to deny it. We were created to be that way.
Created?
Les enfants terribles. The terrible children. That's what the project was called. It started in the 1970s. Their plan was to artificially create the most powerful soldier possible. The person that they chose as the model was the man known then as the greatest living soldier in the world.
Big Boss.
But Father was wounded in combat and already in a coma when they brought him in. So they created us from his cells, with a combination of 20th century analog cloning and the super baby method.
Super baby method.
They fertilized an egg with one of Father's cells, and then let it divide into 8 clone babies. Then they transferred the clones to someone's uterus and later intentionally aborted 6 of the fetuses to encourage strong fetal growth. You and I were originally octuplets.
Octuplets?
Yes. The other 6 of our brothers were sacrificed to make us. We were accomplices in murder before the day we were even
Tô de
born.
volta.
So it was you and I,
cafezinho ali.
2 fertilized eggs with exactly the same DNA. But they weren't finished yet. They used me as a guinea pig to create a phenotype in which all of the dominant genes were expressed to create you. I got all of the recessive genes. You took everything from me before I was even born. But you and I aren't his only children.
What?
The Genome Soldiers. They too are his progeny, carrying on his genetic legacy. But they're different. They're digital.
Conversando aí.
With the completion of the Human Genome Project, the mysteries of humanity were laid bare. Thanks to Father's DNA, they were able to identify more than 60 soldier genes responsible for everything from strategic thinking
Agradecer a
to the
Carol que
proverbial
compartilha nossas
killer
lives
instinct.
aí.
Those
Todo mundo que
soldier
compartilha,
genes were
obrigado
transplanted
demais.
into the members of the next generation
E aí
special
ele tá
forces.
explicando
That's how they
quanto
became
pra
the
pulseira dele
Genome
que ele
Soldiers.
quer.
That's
queria.
right. The Genome Soldiers that you've been killing are our brothers, with the same genes as ours.
Quando nós vai pra terceira batalha com ele, espero que seja mais fácil.
The
E o
Genome
jogo,
Soldiers.
se a gente
That's
perder,
right. They are
volte da
our
onde a
brothers,
gente tá.
created artificially through the alignment of nucleotides to
Se tiver que
mimic
fazer
our
a batalha
father's
com o Metal Gear
genes.
de novo, eu
They
pago.
too are
Aí
the
eu
product
choro.
of numerous sacrifices.
Ainda hoje, Good of War no canal
Human
6 horas
experiments.
da tarde, hein?
1991, the Gulf War. The military secretly injected soldiers with the soldier genes. The Gulf War syndrome that hundreds of thousands of returning soldiers complained about was a side
Olha lá o
effect
papo que eu
of
vou
it.
escutar.
Ha! Everyone knows that the Gulf War syndrome was caused by exposure to depleted uranium used in the anti-tank rounds.
And that was just a cover story issued by the Pentagon. First they tried to say it was post-traumatic stress disorder, then chemical or biological weapons. The poison gas detection units and the anti-sarin injections, they were all just a cover-up of the secret genetic experiments.
So then, the so-called Gulf War babies that have been reported by Gulf War veterans are...
Yes, they too are our brothers and sisters.
So the genome soldiers mean that the experiments were a success?
Success? Don't be a fool! They're a complete failure! We are on the verge of extinction.
What?
Have you ever heard of the asymmetry theory? Nature tends to favor asymmetry. Those species which have gone extinct all show signs of symmetry. The genome soldiers suffer from the same problem. Signs of symmetry. So do I. As do you. That's right. We are all on the verge of death at the genetic level. We don't know when or what type of disease will occur. That's why we need the old man's genetic information.
You want Big Boss's DNA so you can save your family? It's very touching.
In nature, family members don't mate with each other, and yet they help each other to survive. Do you know why? It increases the chance that their genes will be passed on to a new generation. Altruism among blood relatives is a response to natural selection. It's called the selfish gene theory.
You're telling me that your genes are ordering you to save the genome soldiers?
You can't fight your genes. It's
Muita
fate.
conversa,
All living
não?
things are born for the
É
sole
muita
purpose
conversa.
of passing on
Tá me
their
dando
parents'
fome.
genes. That's why I'll follow what my genes tell me. And then I'm going to go beyond. In order to break the curse of my heritage. And to do that, first, I will kill you. Look behind you!
Meryl!
Vai fazer nada com a
Is she
Mary.
alive?
I'm not sure. She was alive a few hours ago. Poor girl kept calling your
Aqui.
name.
A
Meryl.
gente já tomou a decisão da Mary.
Falling in love with a man who doesn't even have a name.
I have a name.
No! We have no past, no future, and even if we did, it wouldn't be truly ours. You and I are just copies of our father, Big Boss.
E aí, Márcio
America.
Falcão,
As soon
seja
as we
bem-vindo.
finished our business, we're almost out of time.
You're talking about Fox Die.
No. It seems now that the Pentagon knows that Metal Gear is destroyed. They've arrived at a decision. They won't even need a PDA. If you want the details, why don't you ask your precious Colonel Campbell?
Colonel, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm listening.
What is the Pentagon trying to do? Colonel, answer me.
The Secretary of Defense has taken over active control of this operation. He's on his way there by AWACS
What for?
to bomb the place.
What?
Not
Obrigado,
only
Márcio.
that,
Eu que agradeço,
B-2
velho.
bombers just lifted off
Eu
from
te
Galena Air
agradeço
Force
por
Base.
tá aí acompanhando
They're
a
carrying
gente.
B-6113 surface-piercing tactical nuclear bombs.
What? Metal Gear is destroyed. Tell the Secretary of Defense.
The Secretary of Defense heard that Naomi double-crossed us,
Galera que tá
and he's
chegando,
worried
estamos ao
about
vivo
Fox
no
Die.
YouTube, no
Now
Facebook
that
e no
there's no more
Twitch,
danger
Ricapa
of a
10.
nuclear strike from Metal Gear, he's going to
O
do
coronel
whatever's
agora tá
necessary
dizendo pra
to
gente
cover up the truth
que o
of what really
Pentágono tá
happened
mandando
here.
uma bomba pra
He's going to
explodir
drop a
tudo ali.
nuclear
O
bomb to
Snake tá
vaporize all the
dizendo
evidence
que
along with anyone
ele
who
já
knows
destruiu o
anything.
Metal Gear,
Don't
que já
worry,
não
Snake.
tem mais nenhuma
I'll
ameaça
stop the
e
nuclear
que não é
strike.
necessária.
How?
Mas,
I may only be a
por conta
figurehead
da
here,
Naomi ser
but
uma
I'm still
espiã
officially in command of this mission.
infiltrada, o
If I issue an
Pentágono,
order to
mesmo
delay
assim,
the
não
strike,
quer
it'll
correr
confuse the
risco
chain of command and at least buy you
e
some
quer
time.
encobrir
It'll give you a chance to
tudo que
escape.
aconteceu.
But, Colonel, if you do that...
It's okay, Snake. The truth is, Foxhound was already the subject of an undercover investigation. Merrill was transferred to this base just before the terrorist attack as a way of manipulating me.
Those bastards.
I'm sorry. They forced me to cooperate in exchange for her life.
Sobe mais
You better get out of
música
there, Snake.
melancólica.
Are you sure? It'll be bad for you.
Don't worry. It's the
Galera,
least
dá
I
o
can
like,
do
dá
for
o seu
you
curtir,
after all the lies.
like no YouTube, curtir no
Colonel,
Facebook,
I'm ordering them to
segue a
cancel the
gente lá
bombing
no
run.
Twitch.